Hi, I'm Stephanie Hacker, and I am your student 7th grade social studies teacher. This is my second year full time at Washington Middle School. I'm teaching 7th grade social studies and 8th grade math. I have 3 kids. Janie is a new student at Western Washington University. Sam's a sophomore at Ole, and Cole is here at WMS as a 7th grader. The materials this year will be History Alive is the Medieval World and Beyond textbook. And then the second half of the year, the Washington Journey, the Washington State History textbook. All of these are available digitally. You don't have to have the physical hard copy. But we'll be putting everything possible onto Schoology so that kids can just work through the website. But if you would like a copy of the hardbound books, you're welcome to swing by the school and we will hand one to you. So the topics we're covering this year, currently we are finishing up on some basic world geography, and then we're going to move on into the fall of Rome, feudalism, the Byzantine Empire. Second semester consists of Washington State history. Second semester is a graduation requirement for Ole School District. You have to pass the second semester to graduate high school. I don't know why it's in middle school, but it is. You have to graduate. You have to have Washington State history as a graduation requirement. So we need to all work together to make sure your student is coming to class and participating. We won't make it too hard, but they need to pass this class. Grading is standards based. A 3 is they've met the standard. 2 is they're getting close to the standard. Number 1 is they're really far away and have a lot of work to do to catch up. The categories for grading, 30% of the grade will be based on daily assignments, classwork. 70% will be on assessment, quizzes, projects. The quizzes are open note because we can't look over your kid's shoulder when they're at home. And retakes are allowed, preferably within 2 weeks, because otherwise you take too long and they forget everything. If they got a 3, they don't retake. If they got a 2 or a 1, please retake. There's no penalty for late work unless it runs up to the end of the semester and we have to submit the grades for the report cards. So everything, you can turn in anything as long as it's still within the same semester. This is a copy of my Schoology page, what it looks like for your student. If your student needs to join the Zoom, they click there. If your student needs to email me, they click there. Anything that's coming up is over here. All of our work is usually within a folder labeled for the week. This is your friend and my friend. This tab right here that says grades. If you click on it, you can see what your student has completed or not completed. It's not visible on the parent Schoology account. I don't know why. It would be helpful, but you have to ask your student to show you their Schoology page. Click on the grades tab. Anything that has a little dash next to it means they haven't submitted anything. If there's a little paper and then a dash, it means they've submitted it, but I haven't graded it. If there's numbers and a little paper, looks kind of like this, then it means they've submitted something and it's been graded. Everything is good to go. So expectations, students are expected to be in the Zoom, paying attention and contributing to the chat. We do a lot of talking in the chat box and sometimes breaking into small groups to work. Zoom sessions can be 20 to 45 minutes, approximately, sometimes longer. Having their cameras on is nice, but it's not required because sometimes it's slow. If the Wi-Fi isn't fabulous, it slows down the Zoom too much and they can't hear. Everything gets glitchy. So if they turn off their camera, sometimes they can hear better. So after the Zoom, will almost always be work for them to complete on their own. So they still are working for the entire hour. We Zoom together and then they have some time to finish their asynchronous work after the Zoom is over. They're expected to finish the work in the week's folder by Sunday night, though I would rather it's done we should almost always give them enough time to finish it in class. How to help your student. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them specific questions. What'd you talk about in social studies today? What do you think about that? Do you find that interesting? You know your student best. If they need checking up on, do it often so they don't get too far behind and overwhelmed. It's easy to get overwhelmed thinking there's so much to do when there's really only a few little things that they need to catch up on. Once they get started, they can finish pretty quickly. Ask them to show you their grades tab on Schoology. I understand that they're going to fall behind. Some of them might fall behind. My job is to help you make a plan so that they can catch up as quickly as possible and feel successful and feel like they are learning the things that they need to learn. Another thing you can do as a parent is work on study skills and time management, because this is a lot for these little guys, 12 and 13 years old, to be completely responsible for making sure everything is done and turned in and knowing all the places to click. It's a lot. So if you can help them organize, work on study skills, and how to finish things in time, that would be very helpful. If you need to contact me, there's my email. Again, I'd be happy to set up a family meeting if you want to do a Zoom with the whole family. If you have questions, I'm happy to meet with students to work through individual assignments. If they are having trouble and can't figure out what they need to do, I can Zoom with them and you, and we can walk through the assignment step by step. So I hope you have a wonderful night, and please email me if you ever have questions about social studies at Washington Middle School. Thank you.